Went a bit too far yesterday. I think it's safe to say. I can admit it when I go too far. Can't be going all the way from this is a business podcast talking about creating value or what value is, or assuming you want to create value and trying to figure out what it is, and then all the way down to like the biophysics and energy and entropy. And no, come on now. That was in retrospect annoying. Sorry if I annoyed you, but not that sorry. I'm more sorry to myself. I'm not sorry to myself either. Okay, let's bring it back a little bit to reality. I just have some notes here. Like I haven't quite figured it out, but I think obviously value is simple, obvious, and specific. Obviously it's obvious, right? No, nothing's obvious. Nothing is obvious. But value should be and is simple, obvious, and specific. Creating and capturing value are different from understanding it deeply, the same as farming is different from biophysics, all right? If you didn't know that already, now you know. Seems obvious. Wasn't obvious. I just have some notes here that have been taking me, I think, in the right direction. Oh, by the way, I also think the biological physics is also the right direction, but not for a business podcast. Maybe for, I don't know, another one, let's say, that's about what's going on out there and what to do about it. All right. Start from the simple case. An object gets traded for a note. An action gets traded for a note. Think grain, farms, owing somebody something over time. What do you owe them? I don't know, value, or there was value, or something to do with value. Look, they say that it's that money replaced barter, but I've also heard, I'm not going to go into citations, just look, it was an On the Media episode, that there's no evidence that barter ever happened. I'm not going into that. I'm not even going to cite it. You do it. I'm not doing it. There's no time. But let's just start with money and probably around the time of farming. See, I'm going too deep here. Look, the depth is in the notes. Don't analogize physics. Take it literally. Yeah, because it's hard to keep working with the physics analogy because you keep looking for like which piece corresponds to which piece. You're creating a mapping between your sort of high-level language and then the language of physics. And just don't create the mapping. Just do but that turns out to be complicated. Okay, make the human condition better. Got that? Do that. If you can do it, do it. I was reading Lewis Dartnell's The Knowledge on the microbiology section, and he just talked about how the germ theory made the human condition better, and I was like, I want to do that. Let me do some making the human condition better. Make things better according to adults, or adults and children, but never just children. I don't know why this occurred to me. It's just my way of protecting against the idea of creating addictive drugs, apps, devices. I mean, these are things that you can definitely say children, and children does not mean necessarily young people. I'm sure you all know grown-up people who are very much children and not adults. So we want to make the world better, improve the human condition according to, or as measured by, adults, or adults and children. There's a Venn, right? You've got adults, you've got children, and they overlap, or their opinions can overlap. You want to focus on the overlap or bias toward adults because why? Because children, they don't know enough to judge better. It's a very difficult thing to understand what's better and what's worse in the world. This is this next thing, objectives, and that they should be obviously true and good. That comes from Ma81. Objectives, not projects, can be finished. To protect against regrets, they should be obviously true and good. Not just to protect against regrets, but also to actually create value. And really, you have to create value that you can capture. So not just creating value, but creating value that you can capture. You should try and make what you're doing, your objectives, obviously true and obviously good. So what does that lead to? Obviously make the human condition obviously better incrementally. I tacked on incrementally because I felt like we only have the attention window and the time window and the literally the visual. As long as you can see, as long as you're sighted, the visual window, it's like so small. You can't even if it's objective, even if it's obviously true and obviously good. If it's the size of a rocket ship, you don't just go build a rocket ship. You don't just go, you don't just go build penicillin. Do you discover or grow penicillin? I don't know. You have to do like 1,000 little things that lead up to that. You need a good compass. You need to be working on something that's obviously true and obviously good, but it can't be huge because we only have the moments in the day. It's always now. Thank you, Peter. It's always now, Sam Harris. It's never all that time. All right? Lastly, in the case of Retraice, given what I can do and could do, what I should do. I don't know. It's going to have to be the next one. Ma81, Wednesday, January 10th, 2024. Started at 2:05. It is now 2:10 p.m. Eastern. Signing off.